Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today's episode we're going to start by doing a sword in the stone prop concept. So I've gathered a little bit of resources or references and I'm going to pull those up and put them over here right in our image. And I made a 16 by 9 300 DPI canvas with just like a gray background. And I'm just going to put the references right in here. So some of these are even my own paintings. I want to use those as references for the stone. Oops. Yeah, move that back over here. I don't really need a bunch of it showing. I just kind of want to maybe just this area right here. Oops. We get the lasso tool. Well, not the lasso tool, but the marquee tool. Select that right up here. Just hit Control C. I'm just gonna grab just a chunk of that. And I really like this shield thing, these gold colors. So I want that to be part of my inspiration as well. I put that on top here. And I may have a little bit of kind of intricate patterning. That's a possibility with the concept. So now we have that. Let's come up with our design. So let's make a new layer. And with these other images here, let's click on the top one, hold Shift, grab them all, and put that in a folder with Control G. And double click that, and we're just gonna call that ref. And you could lock that layer or something so it just doesn't get in the way if you want. And then go to this top image here, and I'm just gonna grab a really basic brush, set it to kind of like a darker brown color. Usually only use pure black just to keep it a little bit lighter. So we have that. So now we want to kind of design something with the sword and stone thing here in mind. But first, I don't want to design it like in 3D or anything or draw it out fancily at all to begin with. So let's do it really simply. And I do have the symmetry tool turned on, and you can find that if you go up to, I believe it's Edit, Preferences, and then Technology Previews. And right under here, say, on the bottom tab here, Technology Previews, Enable Paint Symmetry. And we're just gonna hit OK. And when you have a new brush up, that'll show up right here at the top. And I'll go New Vertical, put that right around here. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. And now let's play around with just maybe the pedestal that this is sitting on. So I got my different inspirations here. Here's kind of what I'm looking at for reference. And you notice now I'm drawing on this, the symmetry is automatically going through. And that is wonderful. So maybe I'll have kind of this, I'm looking at this notch here, and I might want to replicate that. But let's put it in a little closer. Let's say it's right about here. Okay, so that's kind of our top pedestal piece. And it's like Zelda where they had a little bit of just a little notch up higher. And then the sword's gonna sit in that. And this base piece, let's say it's a little bit further out, maybe right here. And I want to do like a little notch that goes in like that. And maybe we'll do a little swoop in here as well to kind of be similar to that, but make our own unique decisions here as well. We're just being inspired by that, and we could be inspired by some of the stuff going on here as well. So maybe we'll add some of that in there. Sorry if that noise in the background is being picked up. I've got a terrible washing machine, or no, it's actually a dryer, and it's saying it's done, letting us know what's going on. Anyways, I'm just thinking where I'm gonna add some kind of patterning or detailing or something like that. Perhaps right around here. Okay, so let's think of, maybe we'll replicate some of this, or at least think about it, having these elements coming down, and we could even have like a hint of a skull in there, kind of like they do. That's kind of a neat idea, but I don't want it to look exactly like a skull. So I'm just playing with some patterns that can run along here, sort of inspired by eye sockets. And then maybe a little bit of these swirly motifs. That's a bit too intense. I'll bring that up. Yeah. The stone is more of a decorative stone, perhaps. Maybe we'll bring it back a little bit. So let's look at the sword design now. So we want to do probably have the hilt up here, handle here, and I like doing like a notch here. And we're going to change the design of the sword a little bit too. Maybe like this sword's a little too, that's a little too much. About maybe that. And I want to bring this design. Okay, there we go. Maybe we'll even have a little bit of that taper like they have. Let's say the hilt comes out to there. And I want to have a little bit of kind of some more decor on the outer edge here. So I'm just creating some basic shapes, and maybe we'll replicate that sort of end that they do here as well, but we're going to add a little more swoops to it, and just some more intricate detail. And I'm using shift to kind of make those straight lines like that. I'm just going shift, just holding that, and it kind of snaps to the direction you're going. And I sort of have a split. I'm going to have this one kind of have that. So kind of deciding how far the blade, how thick the sharp part of the blade will be. Maybe about right there. I do like that in the Sword and Stone. They have part of the hilt kind of coming down into the blade. It's really cool. It makes the sword feel a little more connected to the handle. And that gives us a little opportunity to maybe do some interesting design work here. Maybe it goes through the whole sword like that. That'd be interesting. And then just this is all blade. That's kind of cool. Now we can come back and decide if maybe I want to reduce some of that so it's not so thick. We could do some sort of circular center, or maybe pull in another shape, pull in maybe some of the sword shape so it looks like this was designed to hold this sword. We could have those motifs carry over from the sword down to the base as well. So maybe we incorporate that circle into the sword too. And now I kind of have that idea replicating. Curve. Yeah, it's starting to get a little more interesting. I like the circle there, and I kind of like having it so it's encased in details, but I like that extra little split there. And really this is all just about exploring patterns and shapes and patterning, kind of combining them all. Okay. So yeah, once we get this kind of laid out like this, we could pretty much drawn out, like we could either do different side views or something like that. There's a lot of things we could do. Actually move this down a little bit, and you don't have to worry about that with your symmetry tool. It'll just stick with it, just keeps going, no problem there. I'm gonna make this handle a little bit bigger though, and that's the reason I wanted to bring this down. And I like this kind of idea of an empty circle as near the top of the hilt there. Or wait, maybe that's the hilt. I always forget. I should probably be looking. I think that's the crossbar and this is the hilt. I've probably been calling it the wrong thing all along. Yeah, the comments. Leave a comment if you... Leave another comment if you already said something about how I was calling the wrong thing. But yeah. Sorry about that. But I feel like you didn't have to know what that was called. You could tell where I was drawing. But I do apologize for the inconvenience. Maybe I'll do a little beginning thing and talk about how I called it the wrong thing. So let's go, we can just turn off symmetry. And if you did want to bring that back, you could just go up here and go last use symmetry. So you don't have to worry about that too much. I just want to turn it off because I want to add a little bit of asymmetry to some spots. Maybe this blade, even though it's been here forever, so maybe we have it like some stuff growing up on it, give it some character, you know, some mold, not mold, some moss growing up over it. You could even have little moss goblets sticking out. I don't know what those are called. Little little peanuts, almost little plant things growing. Doop. And then let's see, that's probably down here. It'd probably kind of be where the ground level is. We could make that a little taller if we wanted. That's probably good. Okay, there we go. Now we have this part done. In the next episode, we're going to focus on giving this some dimension. So probably now, it's basically this episode was about the design. So the next episode will be about taking this and giving it a better representation and drawing out in a little more 3D. So I'll see you in the next episode. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're new here. And yeah, thanks a lot. Have a great day.